In ancient times, people used to eat raw insects. Their metabolism was accustomed to this situation. But what if we made a modern-day human eat 1,000 live insects? I'll explain right away, of course, if you've subscribed. First of all, let's choose an insect. Let this insect be a cockroach. Let's make things a little stranger. You ask why? Because cockroaches are insects that love roaming around sewers, garbage, and filthy environments. Since they live in areas with high humidity, they also carry a large number of bacteria and parasites. Now let's see together what would happen if a person gradually ate increasing numbers of live cockroaches. If a person eats a single cockroach, the symptoms that may occur can vary greatly. In most healthy adults, no symptoms may appear at all. However, in some people, the following symptoms may occur: nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain or cramps, diarrhea, indigestion, loss of appetite, itching, hives, runny nose, watery eyes, difficulty breathing. The acid in the human stomach can kill many microorganisms. However, the species of cockroach, where it lived, and the person's health condition can affect the outcome. If a person eats 10 cockroaches, the amount of parasites and bacteria entering the body will increase, and things will start becoming seriously concerning. Within the first 24 hours, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, such symptoms will most likely show themselves with a 70% probability. The body may naturally eliminate these parasites within 24 hours, but if it cannot, diarrhea, fatigue, headaches, and very painful stomach cramps will begin. Due to fluid loss caused by continuous vomiting and diarrhea, certain organs may no longer perform their functions properly. And because of this, medication may be required to remove the parasites and bacteria from the body. Eating 100 raw cockroaches causes your heart to start beating rapidly due to the intense amount of parasites and bacteria entering the body, and you begin vomiting at short and frequent intervals. Your heart starts beating at very high speeds. Dizziness increases significantly. Stomach acid becomes highly insufficient to dissolve 100 cockroaches. In addition, the hard exoskeleton of 100 cockroaches contains a large amount of chitin. Humans cannot efficiently digest chitin. Therefore, irritation of the gastrointestinal tract, digestive discomfort, and severe gastrointestinal symptoms may occur. If the person experiences vomiting and diarrhea for days and does not receive medical attention, electrolyte imbalances may occur, and due to the kidneys becoming unable to function properly, they may begin failing to perform their duties. Eating 300 raw cockroaches means the situation has reached a critical level. At this point, the amount of bacteria, parasites, and indigestible material entering the body will become enormous. From the very first hours, the person may begin vomiting continuously, severe stomach pain, intense intestinal cramps, difficult to control diarrhea, dizziness, extreme fatigue become almost unavoidable symptoms. The hundreds of grams of biological material and the large amount of chitin contained in 300 cockroaches will begin seriously disrupting the normal functioning of the digestive system. At this stage, because the stomach and intestines are constantly irritated, the person may be unable to eat or drink anything. If the body continues losing fluids through vomiting and diarrhea for days, blood pressure may begin to drop. Heart rhythm irregularities may occur. Involuntary muscle contractions may begin, especially if bacteria carried by the insects manage to enter the bloodstream. The risk of developing a severe infection increases significantly. A risk of partial intestinal blockage may occur due to the large amount of indigestible exoskeleton fragments accumulating in the intestines. Beyond this point, expecting the person to recover on their own becomes quite risky, and treatment under hospital supervision will most likely be necessary. If appropriate treatment is not provided, the kidneys, liver, and other organs may begin suffering serious damage due to extreme fluid loss and infection. Eating 500 raw cockroaches is an extreme and dangerous situation. The risk at this amount is no longer just eating cockroaches, but also consuming a massive amount of biological material, bacteria, and indigestible exoskeleton. Going to the hospital becomes absolutely necessary. The chitin in the exoskeletons of 500 cockroaches will heavily burden the digestive system, and consuming such a large quantity carries the risk of pushing the stomach, intestines, and kidneys to the brink of failure, raises the risk of constipation or intestinal blockage to around 80%, and due to the extreme pain throughout the body, it will likely become unbearable, causing the brain to shut the body down, followed by loss of consciousness. Eating 1,000 cockroaches is far beyond what a human would normally be capable of consuming. At such an extreme quantity, the problem is no longer just the microorganisms cockroaches may carry. The digestive system will also be overloaded by hundreds of grams of insect tissue and exoskeleton, potentially leading to permanent organ damage. Emergency medical treatment should be started as quickly as possible. Due to severe dehydration and electrolyte imbalance, the risk of kidney failure and spending the rest of one's life on dialysis becomes very high. Confusion, heart rhythm disorders, seizures, hallucinations, risk of a severe allergic reaction, namely anaphylaxis, extreme difficulty breathing, risk of intestinal blockage due to enormous amounts of indigestible material, and very likely permanent organ damage, acute kidney injury due to prolonged fluid loss, risk of multiple organ failure if a severe infection develops. If you also have a body that is prone to allergic reactions, the intense exposure to allergens may result in anaphylactic shock, together with all the risk these conditions bring. This scenario may end with a mortality risk of approximately 5% to 30%. Although it varies from species to species, most cockroaches inhabit environments containing insects and animals that can be extremely dangerous to human health. Because of this, the most dangerous cockroach species may carry these symptoms and risks at 2 or even 3 times the severity mentioned. So please, if you ever find yourself in such a situation, which I hope you never do, regardless of how many cockroaches were consumed, go to the nearest hospital and get examined under medical supervision.